Hey guys, Aniso here, hope you're all having a great day. In this video series we will cover how to play Brood, especially from the offlane position. So if you guys are new to the channel, then why would you listen to me on how to play Brood? So as you guys can see here, I'm a Grandmaster Brood player. I have nearly 1800 games on the hero and I'm usually playing in the low immortal or high divine bracket, so between 5 and 6k MMR, and I currently have nearly 60% win rate on those 1800 games. So for today's video we will talk about general things in regards to Brood, like when to pick Brood, what is Brood's role into the game, why would we want to play Brood in an offlane, what is her strength, what is her weaknesses, and all those kind of things. And then in the next videos we will follow up with like hotkeys, mechanics, how to lane, how to skill, all those kind of things. So taking a look at Brood's stats, we can see that this hero is very weak level 1. She has terrible base stats, she has really bad base attack, she also has quite low defense. It is not that bad, but it is also not great. And then for the movement speed we are also pretty slow. So you definitely don't want to contest runes on this hero and you just want to gain some levels. We actually have a pretty high edge gain and also strength gain with 3.2 and 3.4. And then also once we gain access to our early spells such as Insatiable Hunger and Silken Bowler, we are really good at trading. We are probably one of the hardest heroes to take down because of the high amount of lifesteal and also the mischance combined with the slow. So this is why I like playing Brood in dual lanes. Once we get level 3, this hero is very strong and a lot of people just underestimate Brood's strength. So just keep in mind, level 1, we are very weak, just try to get some last hits and try to get up to level 3. Once we get level 3, your hero starts to become very good. So why would we want to play Brood in an offlane role? Brood itself doesn't need any specific items just because her skill set already makes her a really good hero. So you can buy a lot of items on Brood that have impact. Those can be utility items such as the Aghanim's and shards, aura items such as pipe, greaves, wraith packs, lotus orbs, all those items that are great on offlaners, they work fine on Brood. But if you don't need any of them, you can just transition into a carry. You can basically just be a third carry and go for a right click build and it also works. So Brood is just very versatile. Also, Brood is really strong in the early to mid game. Once this hero hits level 6, there's rarely ever a hero that can even stand against her in lane. Like, you have skill builds addressing every hero into the game to just crush them once you hit level 6. It doesn't matter what hero you're playing against, if you go for the right skill build, you will just crush them. So this will almost always guarantee a really good start into the game, and from there on, you can just take over the whole map, you can push all the towers, you can push the mid tier 1, you can push the safe lane tier 1, you can put deep wards into the enemy jungle, you can scout with your spiders. Brood is just so versatile. Every time an enemy hero just enters your lane alone, you can just kill them by yourself. Like, the enemy team will usually need at least 2, most of the time 3 heroes to stand a chance against your hero. Like, Brood is so strong, and also it is very hard to gank you. You are a very fast hero as long as you have full HP and a lot of webs. And it is very easy for you to scout. Even if your teammates don't put wards, you can just use your spiders all over the map to scout and get information. This makes it very easy to assess the situation as Brood and to decide what is the next step into the game. It is basically like playing with a map pack, just because you have so much vision with Brood. Now let's talk about the pick phase. Usually when we play offlane Brood, we will pick her in the second phase of the draft. This means the enemies usually have revealed both of their supports, and usually your team has already picked both of your supports. So this is the information we decide on if this can be a good Brood game or not. Like, there's rarely ever a game that we have last pick as an offlaner. If you do, that's great, more information, but you will usually only see their supports and your supports and maybe your carry. So the first thing we will consider is the enemy supports. Usually you want to look out for enemy supports that cannot deal well with spiders. Those can be Shadow Shaman, Ancient Apparition, Witch Doctor, basically all the heroes that don't have ways of dealing with a lot of units, with a lot of summons. If you play against two supports that fit this description, you will have a very easy game, because they will basically be useless against you. On the other hand, I would recommend to not pick Brood against a lot of heroes that have AoE and disable. Maiden is a great example of a hero that I would not pick Brood into. She has AoE spells to deal with your spiders, also movement speed slow, attack speed slow. She has a root, also her ultimate just crushes all your spiders. So basically Maiden is one of the best supports against Brood, in my opinion. Other heroes you need to look out for are enemy heroes with saves. For example, Shadow Demon, Oracle, Dazzle. It is very hard to play into all of those heroes because you as Brood, you want to snipe out one of the enemy's heroes. Especially if you go for the Oracle build, you just want to kill one enemy as quickly as possible when they're out of position. But playing against like an Oracle or a Dazzle that can just save them with Grave or Oracle ulti, it is very hard for you to fulfill the role of picking out someone. Now let's talk about the heroes in our team. Usually as Brood, we care mostly about our +4 hero being strong as a laner. We like heroes that have stuns, hacks, roots, slows, and just high base damage. High nuke in the early game, basically just people that can secure your early game. For example, Dawnbreaker, Skyrift Mage, Jakiro, Grimstroke. Basically all the heroes that can make your lane more easy. Or you can also look out for heroes that roam a lot so you get solo experience. For example, Pudge and Earth Spirit, they can be great laners if the enemies don't have much kill threat on you. If you're playing against a very passive +5 hero, then it is fine. But if you're playing against like a Crystal Maiden Juggernaut lane and you have a Pudge that will probably leave you alone, you will just get destroyed in lane. So really think about this before you pick Brood, because it is very important that you have a good lane on this hero. If you get destroyed before you reach level 6, then it is hard to come back into the game. So now we know Brood's role into the game, and when to pick and when not to pick her, what to look out for in the draft, and basically just general things about Brood. For the next guide, we will probably focus on hotkeys, and also how to micro everything, and maybe take a brief look into the spells. So if you're interested in that, click here, and see you over there. Have a nice day.